So you have learned how to find the length of a line, the gradient of a line, and in part 3 of coordinate geometry, you will learn how to find the equation of a straight line. So the objective is finding the equation of a straight line. Now, all the equation of a straight line will follow this format. Y is equals to mx plus c. M down here is the gradient, what we learned in the previous lesson. Then plus c, c you will learn later on, it refers to the y-intercept. That means the value of y when the line cuts the y-axis. Now, while I said all the equation of a straight line will follow this format, just keep in mind there are two exception cases whereby it only have y is equal to something or x is equal to something. Okay, a number, it doesn't have x and y, but for all the other equation in normal case, it will have mx plus c. Now, if m is 1, right, then you wouldn't have m now because we are too lazy to write the coefficient of x. So let us go through the exception first, whereby y is equal to something and x is equal to something. So for the two cases whereby you do not have y is equal to mx plus c is this case. So a horizontal straight line as well as a vertical straight line. For a horizontal straight line, we can see that the straight line passes through y is equal to something. In this case, y is, let's say, c. Alright, it's a constant. Then over here is x is equal to something. So remember, for equation of a horizontal line, is y is equal to something. Then a vertical line, x is equal to something. Yeah, that's the only two exception whereby it doesn't follow the format of y is equal to mx plus c. So with that being said, let's just go through again what do I mean by y-intercept. So in most cases, beside the two earlier on, you will have a line like this. The part where it cuts the x-axis, this one is actually called the x-intercept. And the point where it cuts the y-axis is called the y-intercept. So C down here refers to the y-intercept. Basically, what y-intercept is just a fancy way of saying what's the value of y when x is equal to 0. Because mx, when x is equal to 0, 0 times whatever nonsense the gradient is, you will get 0. So y will be equal to c, and you will see down here. So the c value or the y-intercept is the value of y when x is equal to 0. Same thing over here. This one is the y-intercept, which is the value of y when x is equal to 0. Okay, so first example. A straight line passes through the point 3 and 5, has the gradient 2. Find the equation of the line. So over here, you can see that this point is 3, 5. And they already tell us that the gradient of the line is 2. So how do we go about solving this problem? So we know that all the straight line, they follow this formula, y is equals to mx plus c. How you are going to leave it is y and x must be there. M and c, right? They must be a number rather than a letter or unknown like m and c. So you need to change it to number. So how do we find the value of m and c? Oh, why? It's so good. They already give us the value of m because m is the gradient. Remember just now I mentioned m is the gradient. So straight off the bat, we know that 2x plus c. Y is equals to 2x plus c. So next we need to find the value of c. What we do know is when x is equals to 3, y is equals to 5. So all we have to do is some simple substitution. So y is down here. When y is equals to 5, x will be equals to 3. And c will be, you just leave it as plus c because we want to find the value of c. So 5 is equals to 6 plus c. Very simple, we move the plus 6 over. It becomes 5 minus 6 will give us c. c will be equals to -1. Now, you might just want to leave your answer as it is, but no, you cannot. You have to conclude by saying that the equation of the line is y is equals to 2x plus, or in this case is -1. Because c we have just found is -1. So this one will be your answer. Your answer is y is equals to 2x minus 1. So first step is to find the gradient. Find gradient, which is down here. You go and find it. If it's in the question, you find it in the question. If it's not, they will probably give you another point. Then you go and find the gradient. Second is sub in x and y to find c. Then finally, write your equation with gradient and c, or the y-intercept found, which is like this. The gradient is 2, the intercept is -1. Next, let us look at another question. So a straight line now passes the point -3 and 4, and it has a gradient of -4. So as I have mentioned, all the equation of a straight line is y equals to mx plus c. First step is find the gradient. The gradient they have given us, y is equals to -4, x plus c. So second is we need to find c. How do we find c? We substitute in x and y. So y we can see that is 4. Then x is -3 plus c. 4 is equals to -4 times -3 will give me 12 plus c. So if I bring the 12 over, I will get 4 minus 12 equals to c. c will be equals to -8. So my answer will be y is equals to, gradient is -4. Remember to write x. c is -8. So this will be my answer. So please copy the example down because you will need to try out some question. So please take your time and pause the video and attempt these 3 questions. And if you need the answer, they are down here. If you make a mistake, please check and see where you make the mistake. Now, just take note, if you have a +0 down here, I would say it's wrong because it's not necessary to write 0. Alright, it's not necessary to write 0 because for this question, your C is actually equal to 0, but you do not have to write +0. Just like if the gradient of the line is 1, you just write x if the m is equal to 1. Alright? So, moving on, let's try a question whereby they did not give us the gradient from the start. Find the equation of the line joining these 2 points. So like I said, the first thing for us to do is find the gradient, find gradient. So how do we find the gradient? In the previous video, I have told all of you that I like to write like this. 1 coordinate on top, 1 coordinate below. So, I will take -5 minus 1 divided by 4 minus 12. And my answer will be -6 over -8. And I will get 3 over 4. So now that I have found the gradient, very good. We need to find C by subbing x and y. So now we know that y is equal to 3 over 4x plus c. We want to find c. We do substitute. Whether you use this or whether you use this is the same. You will still get the answer. What you can do is you use this first, then you use this to check. So let's use the first one. Y is -5 is equals to 3 over 4. X down here is 4 plus c. -5 is equals to 3 plus c. -5 minus 3 is equals to c. c is equals to -8. So my answer will be y is equals to 3 over 4x minus 8. So this one is my answer. Then just now earlier on I said you can use this to check the second to check. So let's check. So y equals to 1 is equals to 3 over 4. X is equals to 12 minus 8. We see whether this equation is valid or not. So 1 is equals to 9 minus 8. Is this correct? This one is correct. So let's write correct. Yay! Smiley face. Yeah, let's move on. So these are the 3 questions that I have prepared. If you have not copied down the earlier example, please go back. You should have enough time to pause because I was drawing smiley face. Then come and attempt these 3 questions. And before you check the answer that I'm going to show, you can use the other coordinate that you didn't do the substitution to check whether you are correct or not. If you are wrong, please track back and see where you make the mistake. Here are the answer. Again, for the last part, there's only x and y because y-intercept is 0. And if you make a mistake, please check your negative. When you move the number over, did you change negative to positive or positive to negative? Yeah, that's the most common mistake. Alright, And this will be all for this lesson.